Okay, great. So, do you want to see the program first that we are going to create, or just let's start programming itself? What is your view on that? Do you want to see the program that we are going to create? Do you want to see the project that we are going to create, or let's just start with the coding part? Want to see the demo? Let's start with the demo, guys. I'm very excited. I hope that you guys are also excited. Finally, the project that we are going to see on our resume, right, guys? Let's start with seeing the project itself. First of all, now I'm not very sure if I have the project or not, because I was going to code the entire thing from scratch itself. So let's see if we are lucky or not. Okay, if we are lucky, then that's really good. If we are unlucky, it's fine. Like there's nothing that we can do about it, right? So let's hope that we are lucky, guys, and we are able to find the notebook if it's possible. Let me see if I have it or not. I think so. I'm having the notebook right over here. Let us check it out. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so we have the entire code. So this is what we are going to code, guys. This is the entire code. As you're able to see, the entire project is 110 lines of code, guys. That's it. The entire project. Okay, I think so. You guys will not be able to see it. That's so small. Let me just increase the screen a little bit. And let me open up your chat section as well. So I have not yet opened up your chat section. Give me a second, guys. Let me open that up as well. So I'm able to see what you guys are typing. Okay, so this is the project that we are going to create, guys. This is the project that it is going to take us 2 to 3 days. We'll try to make sure that we are able to create the project in 2 days itself, but let's see what happens. Okay, I can't promise anything to you guys right now, but this is the project that we are going to create, guys. The entire code, as you're able to see, it's not a very long piece of code. It's a short piece of code, but there's a multiple components to it. Okay, so let us run this. Let us see what happens. Okay, so it will connect us to the server. So it will take us a minute or two, guys. And once it has connected us to the server, then we can start running the project itself. Okay, so we are, just give me a second, guys. As you're able to see, it is actually initializing the resources right now. Okay, so resources has been initialized. Let us start playing the game, guys. Let us start playing the game. So as you're able to see, the game will first ask you enter 1 for single player, enter 2 for multiplayer. What does that mean? If you are a single player, you want to just play against a particular AI itself, then you have to type 1 right over here. If you want to play against another person, like you and your friend wants to play the game, then you are going to write 2. That's the first step. So if I'm going to write just 1, I want to play against the AI itself. Enter to play first or second. So the app is going to first of all give you a choice that you want to play first or you want to give the AI the first chance. So what do you think, guys? Should we have our first chance or should AI be given the first chance, guys? 1 or 2, guys, right over here. Do you want to play first or do you want the AI to play first, guys? Okay, most of you guys are writing 1, so we'll take up 1 as the answer right over here as well. So now enter the X position from 1 to 9. So what I've done right over here is this is the current state of the board, guys. This is the current state of the board as you are able to see. From 1 to 9, so every like place is numbered, is indexed from 1 to 9, guys. Let's assume we want to place our first X in the middle of the board. Okay, we want to place X in the middle of the board itself. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to enter 5 right over there. So I will just place 5 right over there, guys. That will enter my X in the middle of the board. As you're able to see, we put our X in the middle of the board. The AI put a 0 on the top left corner, guys. The AI put a 0 on the top left corner. So what should we do, guys, right now? Where should we put our X, guys? This is our step, guys. What should we do right now? Where should we put it up? Please let me know. Where should we put it up, guys? So many of you guys are saying 3, 7 and 9. These are the most numbers that I'm able to see. 3, 7 and 7 is here and 9. Let us go further with 3 itself. What do you guys say? Let's go further with 3. Okay. So we'll place 3 right over here, guys. So now this is the current state of board, guys. We don't have an option. We'll have to place our X right over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We will have to place it at the 4th position because the 0 has already been placed. Now, where should we put it up? No matter where we put it up, it's a draw itself. Nobody can win. So no matter what where we are putting it up, it's a draw as well. Let's put it up at the second particular position, or let's put it up at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position itself. Let's put it up at the 8th position. And now we are having just 9 at the last number. So as you are able to see, it's a draw. So the final state of the game is draw itself. So AI is going to make sure that either it is winning or it's a draw itself, guys. It will never let the human win. That is how the game has been built right over here using the min-max algorithm that we learned in our yesterday's class itself, guys. Okay, I hope that the demo of the game was something that you guys liked, right? The entire thing has been coded just in Python, as you are able to see, and this is what we are going to do today, guys. This is what we are going to do today. Okay, so you don't have to worry. This is what we are going to do today, guys. It is a very simple project, guys. It is not difficult, and it is something that is going to be very enjoyable as well. You can play it, and both the things we are going to code, the against AI and against the multiplayer as well, both will be coded right over there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it, guys. Shall we start the class, guys? Shall we start the coding? Please let me know. And whatever new topics comes up, guys, never worry about it. I'm going to teach you guys both the new topic as well as whatever has been already covered. So that has been covered. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so shall we start, guys? So, okay, so everybody knows about collab, right? This is something that we have already used. So I don't think so. We have to discuss what is collab and why we are using collab. I hope that I have already covered that up on the very first day of the bootcamp itself, right, guys? That what is collab and why are we using collab? So I will not be repeating that, guys. Let us create a new notebook. Okay, let us create a new notebook right over here. So as soon as the new notebook gets created, we can start coding right over there, guys. So it will take us a minute or two to create the new notebook itself. Okay, so as you're able to see, guys, here we have created a new notebook. Once we have created a new notebook, guys, we need to connect to the backend. So that due to that reason, our code and everything will start working. Okay, so we'll create our new notebook right over here, guys. As you're able to see, we have connected it to the backend as well. And now we are going to write our code. The first piece of knowledge that I want you guys to understand is what is a function, guys. Okay, or everybody was able to understand what is a variable, right? Do you guys remember variables? Please let me know. Do you guys remember variables, guys? Please let me know, guys. Do you guys remember variables, right? So variables are basically nicknames for some value, right? There is some value and you give a nickname to it. And now instead of using that value again and again, you are basically using the nickname instead of that. Similar to that, you are having something called as functions. Functions are also nicknames. Functions are also nicknames, but here the nickname that you are having, okay, the nickname that you are having, that nickname basically contains, instead of values, it will be containing other pieces of code. It will be representing other piece of code itself, guys. Okay, so instead of, so for example, we are having rent is equals to 1000. So rent is a variable. It is a nickname for the value 1000 itself. Similar to that, a function, instead of creating a value, instead of containing a value itself, it will contain a piece of code. So if you want to write that code again and again, you want to call that code again and again, instead of doing that, you assign a nickname to that particular piece of code. Maybe 10 lines, maybe 20 lines, maybe 100 lines of code, you are assigning a nickname to it, and you just call that nickname. That nickname refers to code that is contained inside of it. So instead of writing that code again and again, you can just call that particular nickname and that will run the entire code for you. So here functions are nicknames to small pieces of code. Okay. For example, right over here, guys, I'm having Groot. Okay. Groot is a very interesting character. He can stretch his arms. He's a baby Groot itself. He's made up of plant material. Okay, so I will introduce you guys to Groot right over here. I will tell you guys all the features, all the things that Groot can do for you. Okay, maybe you are getting attacked or you are getting mobbed by somebody. So Groot can actually help you out right over there. He can fight for you. But right now I've just told you something about Groot. I've just introduced you guys to Groot itself. But if you were actually getting attacked by somebody and you wanted the help of Groot, you will have to call him, right? You will have to call him. You will have to say that Groot, come over here and help us out. Otherwise, it is not something that I will be able to live further with. Please help me out. You will have to call him. Only then he will be able to come and help you guys out. Similar to that with functions as well. When you're creating a function, you're just defining that what does this function do. This piece of code is what it runs. So what does that function do? You're just defining that. To use the function, to make sure that all that code is getting run, you have to call the function. Similar to how you called Groot right now, you have to call the function itself. This is just an intuition that I'm giving you guys about functions. We are going to see functions in a lot more practical manner itself, guys. So you don't have to worry about it. Are you guys able to understand at least this much? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand at least this much, guys? Please let me know. Everybody is able to understand this? Okay, so we'll start by writing our code, guys. The first thing that we are going to do is, we'll be making a GUI. I think so I've just shown you guys the entire thing itself. We are not going to create a GUI. We are going to work inside of the command line itself. The reason for that is Colab does not support that. Please try to understand it, guys, that the people right over here, not everybody has a laptop. Not everybody has a computer itself. We have to make sure that anybody coming into this bootcamp, no matter what background he is from, he's able to understand everything, he's able to learn everything, and he's able to practice everything as well. That is the aim of the bootcamp. Due to that reason, I'm choosing to go further with Colab so that everybody is able to create the AI, everybody is able to practice and have a project that they can put up on their resumes. So due to that reason, we are using Colab itself, guys. So let's start with writing our very first function. To create a function, it is very simple. You need to first define the function. What is Groot? Who is Groot? What does Groot does? You have to tell it, right? So the first function that we are going to create. So you define a function. DEF basically means defining a function itself. You have to write the function name right now. So main function that we are going to create is going to be called as the main. Okay, because it's the main function. It's the most important function right over there. So we'll call it as the main function. Then a parenthesis. What is the use of this parenthesis? I will be letting you guys know after some time. We'll be moving to our second function. We will be creating our second function. I will be telling you at that point of time what is the utilization of this parenthesis. Right now, let's just understand it like when you are defining a function, you need to put up a parenthesis right over there. Okay. You go to the next line. Now you contain your whatever code that you're going to write, that is going to be contained inside of the main function. Whatever code that you're going to write right now, that is going to be contained inside of the main function itself, guys. So we'll first ask our very first question that, dude, are you single or are you ready to mingle? Basically like something like that. So whether enter 1 for single player when you don't have a girlfriend, and enter 2 if you are having a girlfriend, if you are a multiplayer game itself. So that is what we are going to put up right over here. So we'll put up the choice right now, guys. So in Python, we need to take in an input from the user, guys. What we need to do is, we want to take in an input from the user. Okay, why is this software update coming in? We have to take in the input from the user, right, guys? So we have to first, so taking up input from a user inside of Python is very simple. You just tell Python you want to take an input. So input, INPUT, input. Okay, that is what we are going to do. And then in parentheses, the message that you want to showcase to the user. The question that you want to ask, the answer for that will be given inside of the input. So enter 1 for single people. I think so I should keep it blank itself. I shouldn't do these type of things. Single player, comma 2 for multiplayer. Okay, and we'll end the question right over here, guys. So now this is the input. Now whatever input is going to be given, okay, whatever input that is going to be given from the user, we need to save it somewhere. We need to save it inside of a variable itself so that we are able to use it at a later point of time. Okay, we need to save it inside of a variable so that we are able to use it at any particular point of time. So whatever input that the user is giving us, we will assign it to a variable called as choice. Okay, that what choice did he make? So we are going to create a choice right over here, guys, and inside of that we are going to take up the input from the user. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. Now, because we want, so many a times what happens, especially in Colab, guys, this is something that I want to tell you guys. So up till now, whenever we were learning about Python, we were never using a semicolon at the end. Anytime that you're using Python, we never use semicolon, right? But in Collapse, sometimes you have to use it. The reason for that is right now we are creating a game. How would you like if you are creating a game, the game is starting and some random numbers are popping up on your screen, some random addresses, some random numbers are popping up. These are all metadata, okay, information about what is getting printed on your screen, guys. And we don't want that. We don't want any kind of extra information on our screen. We just want whatever we want to print to be there on our screen, guys. For that reason, we are going to put up a semicolon at the end. It will remove any kind of unnecessary things that are getting printed out on our screen, guys. It will remove any kind of unnecessary things that are getting printed on our screen. But yes, you don't have to put up the semicolon. It is not compulsory. It is something that I do just so that at a later point in time I'm just safe. I don't have to like go through the code that who the fuck printed this thing out on my screen. Okay, so that is something up to you guys. But yeah, for my purpose, I always put up a semicolon at the end. So next, this choice that the user has given to us, whether 1 or 2, is usually a string, guys, because it's an input, like it's a text input that is there. So whatever choice is going to come to you guys, it is a string. How to convert a string to an integer, guys? I want to convert the choice. Choice contains our input, that is a string. I want to convert it into an integer. How to do that? Can you guys give me the code for it? Can you guys give me the exact code that I should write right over here to convert my choice, which is a string, to an integer, guys? Amazing. Many of you guys have written the exact right sentences itself. That's great that you guys remembered it. We have already dealt with it while learning Python. Amazing, guys. I'm so proud of you. So choice choice is equals to int and then choice choice. So now choice is an integer, guys. Now we have converted choice into an integer. The next thing that we are going to create is a list, guys. As a list. Now what is a list? List is a data structure inside of Python. Please try to understand what is the data structure. We remember data types, right, guys? Everybody remembers data types: integer, boolean, floats, strings, all these data types that we had. Now think about data types as different shapes. One is a sphere, one is a rectangle, one is a pyramid, one is a cylinder right over there. Now you need a particular like container to contain these different shapes inside of it and to take it from one place to another. Okay, you cannot just take it all in your hands and then go. Then a dumb fuck. Okay, you don't want to be a dumb fuck. You want to be a smart person. So what do? You create a bucket. You create a bucket, you put all your stuff inside of it and then go from one place to another. So we need a container that is able to contain and organize these different data types inside of it. And these containers are what you refer to as data structures, guys. As data structures. One of the most famous, most used, most blah 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 structure inside of Python is lists, guys. List is one of the most easiest data structures out there to learn and to use. So we are going to use that itself right now. Okay, to use that, it is very simple. Okay, I think so I should avoid saying fuck and all this kind of stuff inside of classes, because yeah, I think so our YouTube got a strike or some shit. Like yesterday I saw it. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so right over here, guys, we are going to create a list. We are going to call it as board, B-O-A-R-D, board. And this board is going to be a list of 9 digits. Okay, it's list of 9 digits itself. So think about it. There are 9 positions on your board, right? There are 9 positions on your board itself. We are going to represent the empty states. Okay, if there is nothing at a particular location, that is going to be 0. Okay, there are 9 positions right over there. Okay, there are 9 positions right over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to represent these places by 0. That means nothing. There is no x, there is no 0 right over there. So we are going to put a value of 0 right over there, guys. So you have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, space, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I think so there are 9 zeros right over here. Let me just check it out. We don't want to miss it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 zeros are there. So think about this as a numerical representation of our game board, of our tic-tac-toe board itself. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. If you're not able to understand, just let me know, guys. I'll try to make you guys understand it in a separate manner. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, simple to understand, right? Empty state of the board. There are 9 places. All those 9 places I'm representing, because it's empty, I'm representing it by zeros. So this basically corresponds to the first particular box. Nothing is there. Second particular box, nothing is there. Third box, nothing is there. Fourth box, nothing is there. Fifth box, nothing is there. So that is how I have numerically represented my game board itself. Okay, let's move on to the next particular thing. Now, if we are choosing, choice as 1, that means we want to play against an AI. Okay, so let's print that out. If, okay, so this is an if else statement, guys. We are basically checking if the criteria mentioned inside of these parentheses is true. Okay, it will be a logical operation or a conditional operation inside. If that criteria is true, then only certain lines of code should get executed, otherwise not. So it's basically like an entry gate. Okay, it's basically like an entry gate. If you are correct, you come inside. If you are wrong, fuck off from my office. It's as simple as that. Right? So here we are going to check if choice is equals to 1. Is the value of choice equal to 1? If it is, then our game is against an AI. Then our game is against an AI itself. So for that, we'll print. Okay, then whatever you are going to write after the if statement, if it is true, only then these type of lines will get executed. Otherwise, it will not get executed. We'll just move on to the next particular condition itself. So if the choice is 1, then we want to print that computer is 0 versus u is x. Okay, so computer, computer, we will put it up as 0, that is capital O, versus, okay, what the fuck happened, versus u, which will be our capital X. Okay, right over here. So just printing out that if your choice was 1, you are actually playing against an AI. So now the computer will have the O value and you will have the X value right over here. So that we have already decided. Now we need to ask the player if he wants to play first or he wants the AI to play right over there. You guys remember that? Please let me know. Do you guys remember that? Please let me know. We have to ask the player whether he wants to play first or he wants the AI to play first. Right? So let us ask that. So we have to take an input from the user. We'll call it as player. Player. Our human player, which particular position he is going to have. That is the input that we are going to take. Input. And we are going to ask him that enter to play first or second. So right over here, we are asking the player to give us an input whether he was going to play first or second. If he's first, then the player value will be 1. If he's second, then our player value is 2. The human player value is 2 right over there. Okay, again, we need to convert it into an integer, right? So player is equals to int and then player. We want to convert it into an integer. We cannot use it directly right over there, right? The next thing that we have to do is we have to use certain kind of other functions right now that we are going to build continuing in the classes itself. Okay, there are multiple functions that are going to be there, guys. Multiple functions. The first thing that we have to check right now is, okay, so we are directly assigning int to choice int in a single line. Okay, yes, definitely you can do it right over there just for the clarity of things so that people are able to understand, because input is a new thing, right? I have not taught you guys input up till this point of time. So to make sure that it is not confusing somebody because it's a new thing, I've put it up in a separate line. But yes, definitely you can merge them in a single line as well. That is up to you guys. I just want to make sure that you guys are able to understand stuff properly. Okay. Why don't we declare X before? What is X? Where have I declared X? Why semicolon in the end? So I've already answered that why am I using semicolon at the end? If you guys were not present in the class right over there, I think so you have not heard about it. So can somebody help them out that why I'm currently using the semicolon at the end, guys, if it's possible. Can somebody help them out, guys, that why am I using semicolon right over there? Okay. Okay, so I've already answered that, guys. I think so you were late. That is the reason why you guys don't know about it. The second thing right now, what we need to do is we need to go over the entire board, guys. For every chance that is going to be there, we need to go over the entire board once, and we have to check if somebody has won or not. Okay, please try to understand it. You have to first check if somebody has won or not. At any particular point of time when you are playing a game, there are just nine possible. There are just 9 times you can both the players will be able to move a piece 9 times itself. Are you guys able to understand it? Like there are 9 brackets right over there. There are just 9 brackets right over there, right, guys? So if the first person is putting X right over here, the second person is putting O. In that way, there are only 9 times that a person will be able to put X or 0 at any particular point of time. I hope that I'm able to make you guys understand this. That both of them, both the players, there are just 9 places right over there, 9 particular branches, 9 boxes right over there, guys. So any person, okay, any person will be able to put his X or his 0. Both the players in total will have just 9 times that they can move a particular step, right? Every time it will be just 9 times that will be happening. So now we need to do that 9 steps. Now the game is starting, guys. Now the game is starting right now. So both the players both the players together will be having just 9 steps that they have to take. So we'll create a for loop. Okay, because we know that 9 steps are the only number of steps that we have to do. A for loop will help us to go over a certain piece of code 9 times. A for loop will help us go over a certain piece of code 9 times. So every step there can only be 3 possibilities, right? Every time, right now it is my chance. Let's assume it is my chance. There are just 3 possibilities. Either somebody has won, or it is my chance, or it is the computer's chance. There are just 3 possibilities right over there, right, guys? There are just 3 possibilities. Either somebody has won, either it is my chance, either it is the next person's chance. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know. So, and this we need to repeat it 9 times. This we need to repeat it 9 times itself. Let us do that. For I in range 0, 9. So what I've done is I've created an iteration wherein the iterable, so this is called as the iterable, that is the I. Okay, I is going to iterate over a range from 0 to 9. So first, in the first loop, the value of I will be 0. In the second loop, the value of I will be 1. In the third loop, the value of I would be 2. In the fourth loop, the value of I would be 3, and so on and so forth. And the loop will continue up till unless the value of I is less than 9. So I will first start from 0 and go up till 9. Less than 9 itself. It can never become 9. That is the reason why 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 times this loop will be iterating, wherein the value of I will start from 0 and go till 8. That's it. It will never become 9. So 0 to 9 basically says that you are starting from 0, but you are going till 9. 9 is not included right over there. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Now we need to check the 3 conditions. Every time there is an iteration, every time there is a loop. We know 9 times we are having. Every time there is a loop, we need to check 3 conditions. First condition, we need to check if somebody has won the game or not. If somebody has won the game or not. For that, we will create another function whose sole purpose in life is to check if somebody has won or not. And that we will call it as the analyze board function. Okay. The main function of this new function, the main work of this new function is that to analyze the board and tell us if somebody has won or not. That is his entire rule. So we are going to see if we'll write the code for this function later on. Okay, do not worry about it. I'm just using it right now. Analyze, analyze, board. Okay, so this analyze board function is going to check whether somebody has won or not. Okay, okay, I think so. I have to make you guys understand like loops once again. Orally, you guys were not able to understand. No issues in that. So first, guys, the first particular statement before understanding loop is that this is our game. No matter how you see it, player 1 plus player 2. Player 1 plus player 2 ka steps. The number of steps of player 1 and player 2 is always going to be 9. There can just be 9 steps in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 steps in the game itself. It can never be 8, it can never be 7, it can never be 1, it can never be 10. It will always remain as 9 number of steps. Now, in every step, there are 3 possible conditions. The 3 conditions are: first, either somebody has won. Someone won. Second particular condition is it is the chance of player 1. Third particular condition is chance of player 2. These are the only 3 conditions that are there, guys. Only 3 conditions in each of these 9 steps. Someone has won, it is a draw, falana dhimkana, but that is the only thing that is going to happen right now. Okay, only 3 things right over there. So what we do is, we every time over 9 steps, over 9 times we have to check these 3 things again and again. 9 times we have to check that, okay, has somebody won? If not, whose chance it is? Do your chance. Okay, next time, has somebody won? Whose chance it is? Do your chance. Okay, that is what we have to do right now, 9 times. So instead of writing 9 times the code for these 3 steps, 9 times if you want to write the same code again and again, that is a very big deal. You are wasting the number of lines of code. So you have something called as a loop. You have something called as a loop itself. As the name suggests, it runs the same code again and again and again. That is the need of loop. It runs the same code again and again and again. So once you have written the 3 pieces of code, guys, these 3 things that you have to check for each loop, you put it up inside of a for loop. For I in range 0 to 9. You put it up inside of a for loop. This loop will run 9 times, and every time these 3 things will be checked. Now, what do you mean by for I in range 0 to 9? Okay, for I in range 0, 9. Now 0, 9, range 0, 9 basically tells you that there is a list of numbers starting from 0 and going till 9. So the last number is 8. 9 is not included right over there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and then 8. So as you're able to see, there are 9 values. There are 9 values in total for I to take up. In the first loop, the value of I would be 0. In the first loop, the value of I would be 0. In the second loop, the value of I would be 1. In the third loop, the value of I would be 2. And so on and so forth. And once the value of I becomes more than 8, the loop won't exist anymore. The loop is over right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand? So 9 times we'll be able to run the 3 things that we need to check. Now to check if somebody has won or not, or is it a draw? Okay, we have to check both the things. If someone has won or it's a draw, we have to check both the things. So this is going to be checked by a new function of ours that we are going to write, that we will call as the analyze board. So this is a new function that we'll be creating, guys. This function only has one sole purpose in life. Whatever is the current state of board, to check if somebody has won or is it a draw. That's it. If somebody has won or is it a draw itself, guys. That's it. That is what it is going to check. So let us do that. Let us go back. Now to analyze it, this function requires the board as well, right? What will this function analyze? We need to provide it with the board, right? The board that has like what particular position is X, what particular position is 0. That list that we created, we need to give that list to analyze board function. We need to give that list to analyze board function so that it is able to utilize that to bring an analysis for us. So let us give that to him, guys. We'll write board right over here, board, board. Okay, so we are providing analyze board with a board, and we are going to check if this is not equal to 0. Okay, if this value analyze board, when we are giving the board and the board is saying that okay, somebody has 1, it is either 1, that is like x has 1, it is -1, that is 0 has 1. If it is not equal to 0, that means somebody has 1 right over there. That means somebody has 1 right over there itself, guys. So in that case, we need to close the game. We need to close the game right now, guys, because somebody has 1. We need to close the game. For that, you just write break. That will end the game itself right over here. That will end the for loop right over here, guys. Somebody has already won. It will end the for loop right over here, guys. Or it's a draw. Everything is over. Else if the analyze board function tells you that okay, everything is working absolutely well, there's no issues with anything. In that particular case, we have to decide who is going to take up the chance right now. Whose chance is it? Are you guys able to understand that? We need to understand whose chance is it, guys. So let's try to figure out how if it's the AI's chance or it is my chance itself. The player is basically providing us whether he wants to play first or second, right, guys? The player is providing us whether he wants to play first or second, right, guys? Please let me know. So why we convert the choice and player into integer? I think so. I've already answered that. I think so. You are late in the class. I've already given the answer for that as well. Okay. So now we know that, okay, if I'm choosing 1, then I'm going to go first, right? That means AI will be second. If I choose 2 right over there, that means I'm second and the AI is first, right, guys? I'm second and the AI is first right over there. So let us see that. Let us see that, guys. So alternatively, it will win. Okay, so for example, in the first case, player is equals to 1. If that is the value, I am first. Okay, so the first chance will be to the human. Second chance will be to the AI. Third chance will be given to the human. Fourth chance will be given to the AI. Fifth chance will be given to the human. Sixth chance will be given to the AI. Seventh chance will be given to the human, 8th chance will be given to the AI, and 9th chance will again be given to the human itself. If I choose player is equals to 2, that means I am, as a human, I am second. In that case, we'll be having first chance will be given to AI, the exact inverse of what is happening on top, guys. The exact inverse will be happening right over there. First will be AI, second will be human, and so on and so forth, right? So to do that, we can create a particular formula itself that can give us whose chance it is. And this formula I've already created for you guys after very much of hard work, which was not a lot, it's basic maths. I is basically how you are proceeding further into the game. I plus player. If it is divisible by 2, if the remainder after I plus player is basically even. If I plus player is basically even, that is, if I divide it by 2, then the remainder is equal to 0. If I divide I plus player by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0, in that particular case, it is the chance of AI. In that particular case, it is the chance of AI itself. Cross check it, guys. The first particular loop, I is equals to 0, right? So 0 plus 1 is 1, which is not divisible by 2. So the first chance will be of human. It is not of AI. In the next particular loop, the value of I is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 is divisible by 2. That means it is the chance of AI. And so on and so forth. Similar to that, this formula can be applied right over here as well. If the value of I in the first loop is 0, I'm adding 2 to it, then it is divisible. So the 0 plus 2 is basically 2. 2 is divisible by 2. That means the first chance will be of AI. So the first chance is given to AI itself. We will be defining analyze board at a later point of time. First, we are going to write the code for the main function. Once the main function is over, then we are going to go for the analyze board. Then we'll go for player 1, player 2. Then we'll create the AI itself. So multiple functions we are going to create one by one. So this percentage that you are able to see right over here, this basically tells you that if two numbers are divided, what is the remainder of that? Okay, when two numbers are divided, what is the remainder after that? That is what this percentage basically tells you. That is what this percentage basically tells you right over there. Guys, the percentage is mod. Okay, yes, thank you so much. Mod. It is basically called as mod right over there, not percentage. Mod. It is called as MOD, mod. Basically tells you the remainder after two divisions. Okay. So if you are still not able to understand this formula, it's basic maths. It is not related to programming at all. It's basic maths itself, guys. Okay. I've not used any kind of programming language of this. This is basically pattern matching. You had two patterns right over here. You needed to create a formula that will fit both the patterns itself. As simple as that. That is what I've done right over here. Okay. Here, just keep in mind that the value of I is 0 in this particular case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here as well, the value of I as well is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is how it is working. So that is how you are able to create the formula. And I've created the formula for you guys. So let us use that in our code, guys. So we'll check if nobody has 1. In that case, if our value of I plus PLAY are player modulus 2 is equals to 0, then in that particular case, we are going to have the computer's turn. Okay. In that particular case, we are going to have the computer's turn right over there. So we are going to create another function that is called as comp turn, computer's turn itself, that's going to execute our computer's turn for us. We don't have to do anything. Okay. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know. We are going to create another function called as comp turn that is going to contain all the code for us, that is going to execute the computer's turn for us. So that will code at a later point of time. So comp, okay, so comp turn, okay, that is what we are going to call it as. It will also create the board. Okay, it reads the board to actually do the turn for us. The next thing that we are going to do is else. Else basically means that if this did not work, if this was false, then run this particular part of our code, guys. If this was false, then run this particular part of code. So if it is not the AI's turn, if it is not the AI turn, it is the human turn itself. Now the human has to take the turn. So we will first showcase the board to our human. First we'll showcase whatever is the current state of the board. Whatever is the current state of the board itself, guys, that is what we are going to showcase to the human. Okay. So let us showcase that right now, guys. So first const board function is going to print the entire board for us. Okay. Const board function is going to print the entire board for us, guys, so that we are able to see the board. The human is able to see the board before like doing his own turn. Okay, before doing his own turn, he is able to actually see the board itself. The second particular part that is there is we need to take in the user one turn. Whatever the user is going to put in as his turn, we need to take that in as well. For that as well, we'll create another function. For that as well, we'll create another function, guys, that is going to be called as user one turn. Okay, user one turn will be again taking in board as an input, and basically that is going to take in the input from the user that actually what step do you want to take in. As simple as that, guys. As simple as that. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. All the analyze board, comp turn, const turn, user one turn, I've made you guys understand that these are functions that we have to create. And I've made you guys understand an intuition about what these functions will do in the future. It will be a very simple thing to create these functions. These are the next functions that we are going to write after the main function. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now that we have written this particular piece of code, guys, okay, that is for choice is equal to 1. If choice is equal to 1, these are the steps that we have to do. What if the choice is equal to 2? We have to check for that as well. What if the choice is equal to 2? We have, please write the use of predefined functions use. We are not using any kind of predefined functions. We are going to create our own functions, guys. This is not something that we can create using predefined functions. We have to create our own functions right over there, guys. Okay, great. So right over here, guys, we have to take up the other use case right now, that is else. I think so I'm at the right point. Else. This else is basically if the choice is not equal to 1, the choice is equal to 2, that is player versus player. We are going to go with multiplayer game, people in the relationship game itself. If that's the choice, then we have to execute some other type of code itself. Again, for them as well, we are going to have just 9 times they can play, right? Both the players together can play only 9 times. Again, we'll have a for loop right over here as well. So instead of writing it again from scratch, I'm just going to copy it from right over here, guys. So I'll copy the entire thing from right over here, Control C, and I'm going to paste it right over here, guys. Control V. Oh shit. Control V. Okay, I think so I pasted it correctly itself. I feel so I pasted it correctly. Okay, but instead of having the comp turn right over here, guys, we need to have the user 2 turns. Okay, because right now we are not having computer. We are dealing with 2 users right now. We are doing it with 2 users right now. So instead of having 1 and 2, so we will be having user 1 turn and user 2 turn. These are 2 separate functions that are going to take in the input from both the users. Okay, we are going to take in input from both the users. Palak is asking, the semiconductor is not, semicolon is not there in Python. Palak, you are highly mistaken. Semicolon is there in Python, but you don't have to use it. So semicolons are used in Python to hide metadata. So for example, when you print, if you guys are learning about data visualization itself, like Python has NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. Instead of that, when you create visualizations in Python, some metadata is also printed along with that. If you don't want to see that metadata, you put up a semicolon at the end. That is how you tell Python, do not print anything else except what I am asking you to print. Don't put any kind of messages, do not put any kind of addresses, do not put any extra information, any kind of metadata. I don't want it. That is the reason why you put up a semicolon at the end. But again, in Python, you don't have to. Semicolons are not compulsory inside of Python itself. Okay. The next particular thing that is there is line 12 else if. You only think why I'm not using else if right over here. Why is else if not important right over here? You only think about it. Okay, if I am going to answer this particular question, then like it's really like logically speaking, this is not related to programming. Nothing related to programming itself. It's totally logical right over here. Those who know a little bit more, they tend to use their maximum brain capacity. Okay, I have studied about else if. I have to use else if right over here. Programming does not work like that. Programming works on just logic itself. This particular sentence is telling that if this condition is met, in that particular case, the entire thing is going to close. The game is over right over here. There is nothing after that. So you don't have to put up else if. You can just like, if this condition is met, it's just gone. The game is over. So you can put up else if as well, but that is just overutilization of 2 words for me. I'm not going to do that. I can just put up if and I'm going to get the same results. Right? Don't use overutilization of brains. Do not do that. Keep things simple, keep things sweet, keep things less complicated. It looks good, it looks amazing, works fine. Be happy. Okay, so right over here, guys, as you're able to see here, we have taken in the range and we have made sure that we are able to analyze and both the players are able to play the game properly, but we don't require the player right over here, so we are just going to use I percentage 2 is equals to 0. Because that does not make any sense. Okay, one of the player is going to play the game, so it is going to be user 1 and then user 2. That user can understand what he is going to do right over there. So we don't require the player right over here because it is not fixed who is doing what particular thing. It's just that every alternate thing every alternate should be the other player. That is the reason why I've done the percentage 2 right over there. So first, if one player is getting the chance, then the next player will be getting the chance. We are not asking them that who is going to play first. Whoever wants to play first, you just start the game itself. It's as simple as that. Okay. So I hope that up till here everything is clear. I hope that everything is clear up till this point of time, guys. Please let me know. I hope everything is clear up till this point of time, guys. Please let me know. For those guys who have been joining us late, if you, this is not something, let me tell you guys one thing. Your certificates do not matter. Okay. I'm speaking to this very frankly with you guys. Google, Microsoft, Amazon certificates matter only. They have value. They have very good value. But they only have value if you know the entire project properly. If you put the project on your resume. And if anybody asks you any questions related to your project, you are able to answer it. If you are not able to do these three things, if somebody asks you questions related to your project, you are not able to answer that, your project is not there on your resume, you cannot explain the project properly to somebody, in that particular case, that certificate has negative value, not zero, negative. Because this certificate, you got it by a fraud. You didn't earn this certificate. You got it by a fraud. That is what is going to go inside of the minds of an interviewer for you. So if you are attending this session properly, you want the certificates, pay very close attention to the project. Try to understand as much as possible about the project. Practice the entire project on your own. Only then the certificate will have value. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, guys. You're just wasting your time. That is the reason why I'm giving you guys such an amazing project. You can actually submit this project as your final year project as well. That is the level of the project right over here. In your college, you can submit it as the final year project as well. Okay. So make sure that you guys are understanding the project properly. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do is after the second user has turned up, we are going to check if somebody has won or not. So if somebody has won, then the entire for loop will be broken right over there, right? We have used break. Basically, that means that done. This is over. I'm not going to continue further with the game. The game is over right over here. Okay, it is already written right over here, guys. So at the very end, we need to check who has won. Right now, the game is over. 9 steps have been done right over there, or something happened in the between. You need to check who won right over there, right? So when you create a value called as X, it is going to give us the final value of analyzed board, guys. When you use final value of analyzed board right over here. So ANALYZE, I think so that is the spelling. Analyzed board, BOARD, board. Analyzed board right over here. I hope the spelling is right. And then BOARD. So now the game is over, guys. The game is over. Both the players have played the game. This is the final value of analyzed board, guys. Final value of analyzed board. Whether the player was AI or human or AI, both the thing has been done. Okay. Final value of analyzed board has come to us. I think so. I've written the wrong. Oh, I have to put up one tab right over here. Now it's okay. So maintain the tabs, guys. Here I forgot to put up the tab. That is the reason why I was not able to see the things working correctly. Make sure you're not doing the same mistake as me, guys. Now if X is equals to 0, the value of X, this is how we are going to create analyze board, guys. That if the value of X is 0, that means the board is draw. Okay, the board is draw. To give a proof to the user that yes, the board is draw, we will provide him with the const board. So const board basically prints the board out for us. Const board basically provides us with the snapshot of the current status of the board. So just as a proof, we are providing it to it and will print draw. Because the value of analyzed board was 0. So 0 basically denotes that it was a draw itself. Okay. Similar to that, we'll just copy paste it 2 more times to figure out who if anybody else has won or not. So Control V and Control V. Oh shit. Control B. Okay. So if X is equals to -1, in that particular case, we are going to have the player X wins. O loses. Okay, player X win, O loses. And in a similar way, we are going to just copy paste this message downstairs as well. So if the value of X is equal to +1, that means O has won and player X has lost. Okay, so player O has won and player X has lost. So we need to remember this, guys, that this is something that we have declared. Okay, that we have declared that if the value of analyze board is 0, then that means it's a draw. If the value of analyze board is -1, that means X has won. If the value of analyze board is 1, that means 0 has won. Okay, this is something that we have defined. So when we will be creating our analyze board function, we will have to create it in the same format. We'll have to create it in the same format itself. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. We will have to create our analyze board in the same format itself, guys, that we have declared right now. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So we have actually created our main function, guys. The main function is now done. Now we can focus upon the rest of the functions, guys. Let's first create our print function, okay, const board function, because that is one of the easiest functions to create. So we'll first create our const board functions, guys. So let us move this to the downstairs and let us create our new function def, that is const board, board, and that is going to take in an input, that is the current state of the board, our list that was there, guys, our list that was there, board list, that is the input that it will be using, your ARD board right over here. So what does this function does? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know what does this function do? Can somebody let me know, guys? Can somebody let me know what does this function do, guys? Please let me know. It prints the current state of the board. It displays the current state of the board. Amazing, guys. And it's very simple, right? So let's print something out first. Print and then current, state state of the board. And then we are going to use a \n 2 times. So \n basically creates some spacing. It's basically like printing enter. Okay, \n basically says new line. That is the full form. \n means new line. So it is basically like printing enter right over there. So we are printing enter. So that the board and the text has some spacing in between them, right? So we'll do that and then we are going to print. So for all the, so how are we going to print the board, guys? We need to understand that as well, right? How are we going to print the board? Now the list that we are having right now, okay, BOARD, board list that is there. It's a list containing 9 numbers. It's a list that is containing 9 numbers, wherein 0 represents a dash, okay, -1 represents an X and 1 represents an O. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Board contains 9 numbers right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 9 numbers are there. Each of these numbers, if it is a 0, it will be a like line that is empty. There's nothing right over there. -1 is X, 1 is 0 right over there. But this board is in 1 dimension. We need to print the board like this. This is how we need to print the board. This board is currently in just 1 dimension, guys. We need to print the board in 2 dimensions itself. How to do that? That is our condition right now. How to do that? So try to understand it, guys. Basically what we need to do is we start printing, guys. We start printing in 1 direction. After certain numbers, we need to go into the next line. Then we need to go into the next line. Okay, are you guys able to understand it? Let me show it to you guys once again. So for the example, the first particular digit that is there, let us number it as 0, 1, 2, let's put A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, so once we write A, we print B, we print C, then we go to the next line. Then we go to the next line and continue printing. D, E, F, then we again go to the next line. GHI. That is what we need to do. So how to figure out that we need to go to the next line itself? So first thing is whenever again we are going to loop over 0 to 9. Guys, remember I is equals to 0 to 9 guys. 9 digits we need to print. So again 9 times we have to loop over. Whenever the value of I is percentage 3, then we have to go to the next line. What does that mean? So in the first loop, okay, in the first loop, so values of I, let us put up the values of I right over here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, values of I are first loop 0, second loop 1, third loop 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the values of I guys. These are the values of I. So first we are having a value of I is 0, we print A. Value of I is 1, we print B. Value of I is 2, we print C. Now when the value of I is 3, we need to first go to the next line, right guys? When the value of I is 3, so 3 is divisible by 3, right? 3 is divisible by 3 is 0, right? There's no remainder after that. So we go to the next line, okay? So D, and now the value is 4, okay? E, now the value is 5. F, now the value is becoming 6. Again 6 divided by 3 is equals to 0. Right guys, again we'll move to the next line, G, H, I. Again the value will become 9 because after this it is 9. So 9 divided by 3 is equals to 0. So whenever the value of I is divisible by 3, we are going to go to the next line. We are going to print \n. Whenever I is divisible by 3, we are going to print \n guys. As simple as that. But what about when I is 0? When I is equals to 0, then 0 divided by 3 is also 0. 0 divided by 3 is also 0, right guys? So we need to avoid this particular situation. I should not be equal to 0. I should be greater than 0 itself and divisible by 3. Then we go to the next line. Then we start going to the next line itself. Okay, so these edge cases, you have to think about these types of things. The edge cases, you have to think about it as well, guys. So let us do that. Let us go back to our code and write this out. So for I in range 0, 9, we are going to check if I is greater than 0. I should not be equal to 0. I percentage, that is mod 3 is equals to 0, that is it is divisible by 3. In that particular case, we are going to print \n. We are going to go to the next line itself. But because after going to the next line, we still have to print something, right? Even after going to the next line, we need to print that next value itself, right? So we cannot use else. We cannot use else, guys. We only have to use if. We have to check every single condition, guys. Because right now you can't just like, okay, we have gone to the next line. We still have to print something. We still have to print x, 0 or dash. We still have to do that right now. So we cannot use else. We just have to use if only. We still have to use just if itself. So if we are going to have, guys, the class of 90 minutes. So for those who are asking about attendance, let me just remind to you guys that 2 people are there who are volunteers at DevTown whose only job is to note down your email IDs and blacklist you because you are not there in the class for studies, you are there for attendance. And these people we don't send the certificates to. So at a later point of time, if you are not receiving the certificates, do not come back complaining to me, sir, I didn't get my certificates. You know why you have not got your certificates. Okay, you know that. You don't have to come back to us. Okay, focus upon your class. Otherwise, you can leave at any particular point of time. We are not making that anybody to stay here on a gunpoint or some shit. Okay, you guys can leave at any particular point of time. You are here, study as much as possible. Okay, so if board at location I, okay, board at location I, the value is equals to 0. In that particular case, we are going to print a particular underscore itself. That is a dash. We're going to print a dash itself, guys. And after the dash, we will end this up with a space. So here what we have done is we are printing a dash because the value of I was 0. Like I said, if the value of I was 0 itself, okay, so that means like there's a hyphen right over there. There's a hyphen right over there, guys. And we are putting up at the end as a space because every time that this is ending, we need to provide some spacing as well. It shouldn't be all the dashes are together. It will look very odd. We need to provide some spacing in between a dash and an X and an O. The box should look like a box itself. So this, we have just put it up so that a proper space can be put up on our screen. So every time this is being printed, it will end with a spacing as well, guys. It will end with a spacing as well. Okay, the next condition that is there is, if I will just copy this out, I don't want to write it 2 times more. Okay, let's copy this out, guys. Copy, paste, backspace, copy, paste. Is I is equals to minus 1. In that case, we are going to put a capital X, guys. In that case, we are going to put a capital X with again some spacing right over here. And then if I is equals to 1, in that case, we are going to print a capital O and then space. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Instead of using chain 3 conditions, can we use a switch statement? For these 3 conditions, yes, you can definitely use a switch statement as well. But again, I find the if-else statement to be very simple to understand. Like it does not like switch. Again, for many of the students, it will be a new topic, something very different. So instead of keeping it like again and again using different things, you can keep it as simple as possible as well. Do not make your code unnecessarily complex. Okay, it makes no sense. Keep your code as simple as possible. That will be helping you guys out more than anything. Okay. The next thing that we have to do is, to end the thing, we have to just like make some more spacing at the end after printing the board. So print, we have printed the entire board, guys. We have printed the entire board right now. Just making sure a little bit more spacing is there at the end. So like 2 backslashes again printed at the end, new lines. So above some space, below some space, beach mein board. The board is there inside of the middle itself. That is what we have done right over here. I plus 1 percentage 3 is equals to 0. No, you can't write that. It is going to be I percentage 0 because you want to check exactly when I is equal to 0. That is 3. I starts from 0. The counting of I starts from 0, guys. Always remember that. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Okay, so we'll stop right over here. I want you guys to code this entire thing today, if it's possible, just as a quick revision. Because the code will get bigger and bigger with time. I don't want you guys to see the entire code at once and be like, oh shit, I have to write so much code. I want it to be a very easy and breezy process for you. We have written 50% of the code up till now. There are 110 lines of code. We have written 52 lines of code. So 50% of the code we have already written right now, guys. So today we are going to continue with our project itself, guys. A little bit more is left. Like I said, only 3 more functions are left with our project. So that is what we need to focus upon. That is what we need to complete in today's class. It is very simple. Just that we need to implement the analyze board function. That's going to tell us who won the game. We need to implement the comp turn. That is the computer's turn. That is the what is the computer going to do. And then the min-max algorithm, guys. Just 3 functions are left right now. And that is what we need to focus upon. It is going to be very simple, very straightforward, guys. Okay, so just make sure that you guys are focusing upon the class properly. We want to make sure that this is the last class, so we need to finish all the three functions in today's class itself, guys. Is Java still in demand? Not at all. You have to learn JavaScript if you want to go into web development or app development as well. So let's continue from right over there, guys. Let me open up the Collab notebook first of all. So COLAB Collab. I think so we were working upon this, or were we using something else? I think so we were using something else. Okay, let me open this up inside of my account itself. I guess that was the account that we were using. Just opening up the watch and the things, otherwise it will consistently crash against the table and you guys will be getting a tuck tuck sound again and again. Okay, now everything is over. Now we can focus upon the coding aspects. So collab, let us just open that up. Welcome to collaboratory. Untitled 34, I think so this was the one that we were using yesterday. Let me open up your chat section as well, guys, on my computer. Give me a second. So I'll open up the chat section on my computer as well, so I'm able to see your chat. So yesterday we saw the dev const board. We put up the user 1 turn, user 2 turn. The main function has been implemented in its entirety. The only thing that is left right now are the first three things itself. So we'll be focusing upon that. Let me just open up your chat section right now. Give me a second. Your channel. Inside of your channel, I need to take up the day 8 of the Python and Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp. I need to pause it up and take out the pop-up chat and open that up on my screen. Okay, so I'm able to see your chat as well as I will be able to see what you guys are writing continuously. Okay, great. So let's get started, guys. Let's get started. So first we are going to implement the analyze board function, guys. Now in the analyze board function, we have to make sure to understand if somebody has won or not. Now if somebody has won, it will be either be like X has won or 0 has won, right? Only two people are there inside of our current program itself, right? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Only two players are there, that is X and 0, right? There's no other player that is there as of this point of time. X is represented by -1 and O is represented by +1. This is clear to everybody, right? Nothing too complicated about it. Now, what are the different ways in which somebody can win? Okay, so somebody can win if he has either all the rows, right? All the rows are of one particular type itself. Somebody can win if all the columns are of one particular type, right? All the columns are of one particular type itself. Any of the columns are of one particular type. And the last particular thing that is there is any of the diagonals are of one particular type. These are the only particular way in which somebody can win, right, guys? It can be either O or either X, we don't care about it. But if somebody is winning, these are the only permutations that are there. Either all the rows should be like of the same type, all the columns should be of same type, or all the diagonals should be of same type. Are you guys able to understand? There is no other probability of winning. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Either one of these things should be true. Is this clear with everybody, guys? Now our job right over here is to represent it mathematically. Okay, to analyze the board, we need to represent these cases mathematically itself. Now we know that every particular box inside of our game has been assigned an index. You guys remember that every box has been assigned an index. So basically we are having something called as board, and board is basically a particular list, and every digit represents one particular box right over there, and every digit has a particular index to it. That is what we talked about in our yesterday's class. If you guys remember, 0, 1, 2, ... to 8, guys. So we can represent each and every box via this index right over here. So let us take up another color. I will take up green. The first box can be represented by the index 0, then 1, 2, then here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And similarly here as well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here as well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we want a particular, like I want to write all the indexes of this particular board that should be of the same type to represent that somebody has won. Can we do that, guys? Can we do that? I'm having all these indexes. I know I have to check for all the rows, all the columns, all the diagonals. I'm having the indexes as well. Can I write a particular mathematical statement in which by looking at that, if I'm just checking for those particular indexes itself, I get my final answer? Can we do that? For example, if we take up this first row, guys, if we take up this particular first row from right over here, can it be represented by a list of 0, 1 and 2? Can we represent that by a particular list of 0, 1 and 2, guys? That if all the numbers present at these indexes are the same, then somebody has won. Can we do that, guys? Please let me know. Like if all the numbers present in a board list itself is of the same type, all of them are ones, all of them are -1, and it shouldn't be equal to 0, then somebody has won. Similar to that, for the second row as well, we can mention it off as 3, 4 and 5. For the next particular row, we can mention it off as 6, 7 and 8. For this particular column, we can mention it as 0, 3, 6. Then 1, 4, 7. 2, 5, 8. And then for the two diagonals, we are having 0, 4, 8. And then 2, 4, 6. Right? These are all the different indexes. If any of these are the same, like if all the numbers present at these indexes are the same, then somebody has won. And whatever that index is, that particular person has won. If all these numbers are 1, then 0 has won, O has won, 1 has won. If all the numbers are -1 at these indexes, then X has won. It shouldn't be equal to 0. That is also something that we need to keep in mind. That it should be the same. All the numbers present at these indexes should be the same, but it should not be equal to 0. And these are the only test cases that we need to test to get our answer that who has won this game. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Is it simple? I hope so that this is very simple for you guys to understand, right? I'm not using anything new right over here. I'm not using any new knowledge right over here. The same thing that we have learned in our previous classes, I'm just using that. Okay. Now, a list inside of Python can contain anything inside of it. Okay. It is a list of objects. Please try to understand it. It is a list of objects. Like I said, a bucket. That is a data type, right? It's a bucket basically. Now, the bucket can contain anything. It can contain smaller buckets inside of it as well. It can contain smaller buckets inside of it as well. So right over here, these are small lists. These are small lists right over here. So our main, I can create a bigger bucket. Okay, I can create a bigger bucket right over here that can contain all these lists. I can create a bigger bucket right over here in which the elements are these smaller lists itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. These are the test cases that we are having. We are having a bigger list which contains all these smaller lists that we are able to see right over here. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. And we'll call this list as the CB list. Okay, we'll call this list as the CB list. That is what we are going to define it as. So let us go back into our code, guys. Let's try to at least write this particular list as a code itself. So let's go back. Let us create our new function. So how to create a function called as analyze board, guys? Can somebody let me know how to create? And those guys who are late, who was not watching us from the start itself, they will not be able to understand what I'm talking about. So if you guys are late, please watch the first part of the video, guys. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what we are talking about if you're joining a little bit late than usual. Okay. So if you guys are not able to understand, that means you are joining us a little bit late, guys. Please make sure that you are not joining late from now onwards. Okay, my keyboard is showing less charge, so I need to connect it to a charging station itself. Otherwise, yeah, it will be completely messed up right over there. Thank you so much, guys. Def analyze board, and it should take a board as an input. So DEF ANALY. Okay, I'll just copy down the thing itself so that I'm not making any kind of spelling mistakes at any particular point of time. Control V, and then BOARD, board, that is the input that is going to take. Now we'll create our big list, our big bucket, guys, called as CB. CB is equals to, and then the big list. Inside of it, we are going to create our smaller list, guys, starting from the rows 0, 1, 2. Okay, this is the first list. And the second list, so it will take us some time, guys, 3, 4, 5. Then we are having the third list, 6, 7, 8. Then these are all the rows that we have checked up. Now we need to check up the columns right over there. So checking up the column, it is going to be 0, 3, 6. Then we are going to go further with the second column. That is going to be 1, 4, and then we are having 7, I guess. And if I'm making any kind of mistakes, guys, do let me know. I'm just pitch bowling it right over here. Then we are having 2, 5, 8. That will be the columns right over here. After the columns, we need to put down the diagonals as well, right? There are 2 diagonals right over there. So for the 2 diagonals, we are going to take up 0, 4, and then 8. That is the first diagonal that we are going to have. And the next diagonal, the last diagonal that we are going to have, guys, is going to be 2, 4, and then I hope so it is 6. I hope that I have not made any particular mistakes right over here, guys. I hope that I have not made any kind of mistakes right over here. Please let me know. I hope that there's no mistakes right over here, guys. If there are, please let me know. Okay, so very good that I was able to write that down in just one go itself. Now what we need to do right over here is we are going to go over also right now this big list. How many elements are there inside of this big list? Can somebody let me know? How many elements are there inside of this big list, guys? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know how many elements are there inside of this big list, guys? 8 elements are there, right? So we need to iterate over every single element. We need to iterate over every single element and then check if on the board, for example, first we'll go to the first particular element. Okay, in the first iteration, we'll go over the first particular element itself, guys, and then we'll check that if all the elements present inside the board at these particular indexes are equal to each other and not equal to 0. That is what we need to check. So first we need to iterate over every single list. Okay, so for that we are going to create a for loop for I in range. What the fuck? What just happened right over there? Okay, everything is working fine. Okay, so for I in range, and then we are having 0, 8, right? Now this is going over every single element inside of the big list, guys. It is going over every single element inside of the big list. That is the smaller list. Now if I is equals to 0, that means we are on the first smallest list, guys. If I is equals to 0, we are on the first smallest list right over there, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We are on the first smallest list. Okay. Now we need to check if board. Okay, if board, the number present at the first particular, so how to get the first particular list, guys? The name of the first particular list, what should it be? CB and then 0, right? CB 0 is going to denote the first list. This is the name of the first list, guys. This is the name of the first list. CB 0 is the name of the first list, guys. Now, if that is the name of the list, if I want the first element of this smaller list, what should be the code, guys? If this is how I get, this is the name of the first small list, what code should I write to get the first element of this smaller list, guys? Can somebody think about it? Think about it. Like, how do I get the first element of a list? If the name of the list is board, then I just put board and then in parenthesis 0, right? That is how I get the first element of the list of board. Now, if the name of the list is CB0, that is how I'm able to get the first smaller list. Then to get the first element out of that, that will be 0, 0, right? That will be 0, 0. 0, 1 will get me the second element of the smallest list. 0, 2 will get me the third element of the smallest list, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? This is called as two-dimensional lists. This is called as 2D lists, guys. Up till now, we were just dealing with one-dimensional list in which there was just list and then elements inside of it. And those elements are what we were trying to access. That's it. Now we are having Inception. If you guys have seen the movie Inception, inside of a dream, there is a dream, right? Here, inside of a list, there is a list. So this is called as your 2D lists, guys. Okay, because it is in 2 dimensions. Okay, so right over here, guys. I'm so sorry. Just a second. So if I is equals to 0, guys, then in that particular case, to access the first particular digit of the first particular list, that will be I comma 0, right, guys? That will be I comma 0 itself. So that is what we are going to do right over here, guys. That is what we are going to do right over here. So inside of board, the fuck is happening right over here? So we are going to write our particular number CB, and then inside of CB, inside of the first whatever particular list is there, whether I is 0, then I is 1, then I is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. CB I, and then the first particular digit should not be equal to 0. That is the first condition we need to check. Okay, this value should not be equal to 0, guys. Okay, the board, what is present inside of the board, that is the board shouldn't be blank right over there, guys. The board shouldn't be blank right over there. Okay, it should not be equal to 0. Okay, and the next particular condition we need to check right over here. BOARD board CB I 0 should be equal to BOARD board CB I and then 1, and I'll just copy paste this. I don't want to write it once again. Control C, Control V should be equal to 2 as well. So what I have done right over here, guys, as you are able to see, is that if it is not equal to 0, if the number present at that particular digit is not 0, guys, if it is not 0, first of all, these numbers shouldn't be 0 in the board. Secondly, if the first particular digit in the board is equal to the next particular digit in the board in that particular manner itself is equal to the third particular digit in the board, only in that particular case somebody has 1. It is not 0. We have already checked that the 1 present at the first particular digit according to our smaller lists is not 0, and the first particular digit is equal to the second particular digit is equal to the third particular digit as well. In that particular case, somebody has 1. Either that be 1 or minus 1 itself, right, guys? Please let me know. Either it will be 1 or minus 1 right over there. That is either X or 0. 3, 5 and 7 as diagonal. Eh? Kumar Samyak, it is the indexes. Indexes start counting from 0. Okay, please do remember that, Samyak. Okay, so in that particular case, we have to return who won the thing. Okay, we have to return somebody won the particular game or not, right? We have to return that. So if all the numbers are correct, okay, if all the numbers are the same, guys, then we just have to return that at return board CB 0 1 or 0, sorry, I1. I'm very sorry, guys, right over here. I and then 0. I will just be returning it that, okay, this particular person has won the game. This is what I'm doing right over here. This particular person RETURL. Okay. This particular person has won the game, right or wrong, guys? Please let me know. Return this particular number if it is same. If it is not 0 and it is same, then return this particular number. That means somebody has won. Else, if nobody has won, guys, if nobody has won, we have checked all the different permutations according to rows, according to columns, according to diagonals. We have checked everywhere, but nobody has won up to this point of time. Then return 0. Return 0 that nobody has won. Return 0 that nobody has won up till this point of time. What we're checking in this particular code is that according to the indexes of all the rows, all the columns and all the diagonals, we are just checking along all these particular rows, columns and diagonals individually that is somebody won. Has somebody won or not? If they have won, then return that okay, this particular person either -1 or 1 has won. Either X or 0 has already won. Otherwise, just return 0. Just return 0. That means nobody has won. We have checked all the rows, we have checked all the columns, we have checked all the diagonals itself. Nobody has won up till this point of time. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Naya Khati Sai, whatever you have said is also one of the methods we can go through. But what about the case scenario wherein you are having the diagonals? So what you are suggesting is going to work just for a particular row itself, right? We need to check according to the diagonals as well. So, but yeah, that can also work. If you are figuring that particular thing out, yes, you can take up the submissions for all the things and you can check that up as well. That will also work for you. This is a very simplified version of it that, okay, we need to check, okay, all the things are winning or not. That's it. That is what we are going to do right over there. Okay. As simple as that, guys. But yes, I forgot the name of that person. He has also written a very correct answer right over there. I'm very sorry. Yes, you can definitely use some. Naya Khanti Sai, you have written the right particular answer. You can also use that as well. Why not equal to 0? Because if board is 0, that means there's no X, no O right over there. We need to check for just X and O's. X is represented by -1, O is represented by 1. So we're just checking for right over there itself. Sir, is board defined? Yes, we have taken a board right over here. I think so. You're starting this class for the first time. Like it has been 8 days. We have been discussing board so long, right? Okay, guys. So once you have done this, guys, we have analyzed the board. We have returned a function as well. Now we're going to start with programming. What about 0, 4 and 8? That has already been done right over here. 0, 4 and 8 is already done right over there, guys. As you're able to see, 0, 4 and 8 is also there. Okay, just hidden right over there because of the size of the screen. But I've already implemented that. 0, 4 and 8, 2, 4 and 6. Already done right over there, guys. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is write the code for our computer's turn, guys. Now we need to write our code for the computer's turn. Now this is the most difficult part of the entire project. Okay, this is one of the most difficult tasks of the entire project, guys. The most difficult part of the entire project. You have to listen to me very carefully, otherwise you will not be able to understand it. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick, guys. My throat is not working properly. But yeah, you have to listen to me very carefully because this is the most important part and the most difficult part of the entire thing. Putting up the AI inside of it. Okay, putting up the AI inside of it. So let's start with this, guys. Def and comp turn, CMP TURN turn, and we'll put up the board as the input right over here. Now for the computer's turn, guys. Okay, for the computer's turn, the computer needs to figure out where to put up my particular X itself, or O, whatever the computer has been given. Okay, so what has been given to the computer, guys? Could you guys let me know? Is X given to the computer or O given to the computer? Can somebody let me know? So as you're able to see, the computer has been given O. That is the value of 1, guys. So computer needs to figure out where in the current board should I put my O, my 1 inside of my board list itself, so that I am able to get the best probability of winning. Okay, so what he's going to do is going to use min-max algorithm to see all the different outputs right over there. Okay, come back through those outputs itself, figure out which has the highest value, which particular position has the highest value, and choose that particular position as its final answer, guys. Okay, choose that particular position as the final answer. So let's start with providing the computer that, okay, currently you are not going to put any, yeah, you are not going to put any O's right now, zero O's. You cannot put any O's right now. You need to first decide where to put it. Okay, you don't know where to put it. The computer has no idea right now where to put it. Now, position, that is where can the O be placed, can be from 0 to 8, right guys? It can only be from 0 to 8 itself, right or wrong guys? Please let me know. It can only be from 0 to 8, right guys? Now, we need to first tell the computer itself that first you cannot put it anywhere, you need to figure it out. So I'm going to declare my position as -1. That computer, you have no idea where to put the O right now. You have no idea right now. You cannot put it. -1 does not exist. Computer starts counting from 0. The index starts from 0 in the board list itself. -1 does not exist. So it has no idea right now. And the end state, after doing something, the end state should be that the computer is able to understand where to put his final answer. So board POS, whatever is the final answer, okay, here I am going to put up my particular O, that he should be able to put it as 1. Okay, that he should be able to put it as 1, guys. That is what I have given to the computer. Now I have to do a certain steps to figure out what is that value of O. I need to do a certain steps to figure out what is that value of O, guys. Okay, so shall we start with this, guys? Please let me know. Shall we start with this, guys? Please let me know, guys. Now, for every single position, there are just 8 positions that can be there, right, guys? There are just 8 positions, sorry, 9 positions on the board where O can be placed, right, guys? So we're going to create a for loop for I in range 0, 9. Okay, did I put it up correctly? For I in range 0, 8, guys. Okay, so I in range 0, 9 right over here, guys. For every single position, I need to figure out that is that particular position the best for me or not. Is that particular position the best for me or not, guys? Okay, so for every position, I will be calculating the min-max value for that. Okay, let us go back to the drawing board once again. There is a certain board, guys, on our screen. There is a certain game board. Current state of the board, I don't know. It can be anything. X is here, 0 is here, X is here, 0 is here. Okay, some random state of the board is there right now. Now I have a chance to put up my O right over there. So I will calculate the min-max value for all the positions. So every position, I'll calculate a min-max value for that. I'll use some other colors. For example, this particular position is going to be -1, this is going to be 1, this is going to be -2, this is going to be 0, this is going to be 2 or 3. Some particular value I will be calculating right over there. The value that gives me the best chance of winning, I will put up my O right over there, guys. Okay, I'll put up my O right over there, guys. Okay, so first I need to calculate this. And I can only calculate the min-max value wherever it was empty. This is empty, this is empty, this is empty, this is empty, this is empty. So if board at the position I is equals to 0, only then I can calculate it. Only then I can calculate the min-max value for that position. So min-max algorithm, we have already discussed that it gives us a value back. For every game state that you are playing, it gives you a value back. It gives you a value back from the tree. So that min-max algorithm we will be implementing. Let's assume that we have already implemented it. Let's assume that we have already implemented it, guys. Okay. So right over here, guys, first we need to give if board I is equals to 0. In that particular case, we'll first put our X, we'll first put our 0 on that particular position. To calculate the min-max value, first we'll put our 0 at that position, guys. That is what we are going to do. board. So we are trying to build the tree that every game state we need to calculate. So if we have chosen a particular digit, we are first going to put up a override over there and check, okay, what is the min max value if I put up a override over there. So board I'm going to assign. Right now this is not permanent. Okay, this is not permanent, guys. Okay, this is just temporary because it is just an if statement itself for a for loop. I'm going to revert back at the end, guys. So first I'm going to put board I is equals to 1. I'm just checking if I put O right over here, what is going to happen. Then I'm going to calculate my score, my min max score, guys. SCORE score is equals to, okay, I'm creating a new variable, guys, right over here. That's going to give me a score that if I played this particular path, if I played this particular O right over here at this particular index, then what will be my min max score? What will be my min max score itself? So I'm going to use minus min max board comma I. Okay, sorry, board comma minus 1. That is the next step. So what is happening right over here? Okay, that is min max. I've written min max. I don't know why. Okay. So this particular statement we will be understanding at a later point of time, guys. Okay, this particular statement will be understanding. We'll be implementing the min max algorithm. Right now, just understand there is some function we did some particular magical shit that gave us a particular value back related to that particular position. Related to that particular position itself. That is what we have done. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We have done some random shit that gives us a value back for our min max algorithm. We'll be understanding it once we start implementing the min max algorithm itself. Okay, so we have got a score right now and we are going to revert some score we have got. We are going to revert back this step that we took right over here, that board I is equals to 1. We're going to take out our O from right over there. We don't want to put our O anymore right over there. We got our score that if I played this particular step, what will be my score? Okay, so board I will put it up back as 0. We will put it up back as 0, guys. So whatever game that we played right over there. So why is there a minus right over here? What is this? We'll be understanding in 5 minutes. Okay, right now just understand we have done some random magical shit right over there. Like Brute provided us with some magical beans, sensu beans or some shit that he provided that helped us get the min-max algorithm, a score of the min-max algorithm. Why is that the code? How is it working? We'll be understanding in 5 minutes, right? First, we need to understand how the computer is thinking about things. Okay, how the computer is thinking about things, guys. Okay, so we are going to remove that O from right over there and then we are going to compare. Okay, we are going to compare if. So we are going to declare another value outside the for loop that is called as value, and this value will be declaring it. Okay, this value we are going to declare it as -2, guys. -2. The reason for that is because this is just a 2-player game in which the numbers that are going to be propagated further are either going to be -1, 1 or 0. Please try to understand this, guys. If you guys remember the min-max tree, if you guys remember the min-max game itself, okay, so somebody is putting up some particular step right over here. Remember the tree, guys, that we drew. Remember the tree, guys, that we drew right over here. Please do remember the tree, guys. If you guys remember, please do remember the tree right over there, guys. This was the min-max tree, guys. And then you are having your final states. You're having your final states right over here, guys. So this final state can either be 1, that is x has 1, -1, sorry, 1 that is O has 1, -1 that is x has 1, or 0 itself, right? There are only, like, it's a draw. There are only 3 states, 3 end states that are there, right, guys? Do you guys remember it? So these triangles can only have the value of 1, -1 or 0, right? No other values can be there at this particular final state. If these are the values, guys, if these are the values, then when it is getting propagated over, that okay, which particular step to take, the propagation will also be either 1, -1 or 0, right? The propagation will also be either 1, -1 or 0, guys, right? Nothing else. So the values can never be less than -1 or it can never be greater than 1 as well, right? Are you guys able to remember this from the min-max algorithm? If you guys haven't revised the min-max algorithm and are coming right over here, you will not be able to understand it. The values that are getting propagated right over there can either be 1, -1 or 0. Only 3 particular test cases are there, guys. Okay, the value. So we are going to, so value can never be -2, right? Value can never be -2. Also for our AI, for our AI to give us an answer, it needs the answer to be 1. If the answer is 1, then only he's going to play is 0 right over there. Are you guys able to understand it? If the value coming from the min-max algorithm is 1, then only he will play at that position itself, because that gives him the highest probability that if I do this particular step, I'm guaranteed to win. Or if it is 0, okay, if the value is 0, then I will do that previous step, because it's not 1, I cannot get to 1. Either just let's draw this particular stuff up itself. Let's not let the other person win. So the highest value we need to find it. So we're taking up the lowest value, that is -2, guys. -2 is the lowest value, that is just not possible. So if our score, what the fuck is happening with my mouse? Okay, if the SCORE score is greater than the value, guys, that means we have got a better position that is now available. If the score is greater than the value, then we have got a better particular position right over there. So we'll update the value by the score. That is the best step possible, right, guys? I will update the current position. That is the best step forward as I. That is the best chance of getting us the result that we need. If the current score for that particular step is greater than our previous value, whatever value was there, then that is a better step for us. We need to get the highest value possible. We need to get the highest score possible. The highest score is going to win. So we're just updating that, okay, this particular score is greater than the previous value itself. So let's update our value by the new score, and let's update the current position, the best chance of me winning is at the index I. That is where the score was actually greater than the value. And that is what you are assigning right over here. After doing it for 9 times for every single place you calculated the min-max algorithm value, then you put that up against the original value. If that is the greatest, you are updating the value of I right over there. That is what you are going to do. That is what we are going to do right over there, guys. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Okay, I am very sure that no one is able to understand this. Let me try to put it up in a little bit more simplistic manner itself. What we have done in this particular thing. Okay, let's try to recap this, guys. This is very important to understand, because in the interview, when you will be showing your code, the interviewer will be asking you questions related to this. If you are not able to explain it to them correctly, what you are thinking about, then this project will be considered as something that you have just copied. You have not understood anything. So we need to understand it very well, and it is very tough. Like I said, it is the toughest part of the entire project. It is not easy to understand. Please try to understand this, guys. Currently, there is some board that has been given to us. There is some board that has been given to us. Some random shit ass board has been given to us. Now we need to find the probability. We need to find the position upon which the AI is going to put his 0. Okay, we need to find the position upon which the AI is going to put his 0. Now to do that, currently let's assume we don't know that. As an AI, we have no idea where to put my 0. Now the position can be either 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only these are the positions that are currently available. Okay, only these are the positions that are currently available. So let us put position as -1. And we don't know where to put our 0 right now. Okay, now we need to come up with the value of our min-max algorithm. Our min-max algorithm, think about it, guys. According to the tree that we created, at the edge cases, at the leaf nodes of our tree inside of the min-max algorithm, if you remember the algorithm, that value can be what? Either x has 1, either 0 has 1, or either it is a draw. These are the only three values that can be there. If X has 1, that means the value of the min-max algorithm that it will be returning will be -1. That is the one that will be getting propagated. If O has 1, then the value of 1 will be propagated further. And if your draw is there, then 0 will be propagated. So for our AI is using O, guys. AI is using O. For us to make sure that O is winning right over there, O is winning right over there, we need to come up with the highest probability for the particular AI to win. For O to win, he will be choosing the highest number possible. That is, he's the max, right? O is the max. It is represented by 1. So it will either choose 1 or 0. That will be his priority. That either I should get 1 or it should be 0 or it should be -1. -1 would be the last probability that should be there. -1 will be the last probability out there, guys. The highest probability is that somehow I should get 1 from my min-max algorithm. These are the only three numbers that are possible by min-max algorithm, guys. So we are declaring another value, the lowest value possible, that is -2. -2 cannot be achieved. It can only be -1, 1 or 0. These are the only three values of min-max algorithm. But because we want the highest value further, so we are choosing -2 as the value. Now this is where you are able to use data structures and algorithms. This is one of the most common questions in data structures and algorithms, the most easiest of them as well. Because you guys are not familiar with that, you will not be able to think about the solution, and that is what has been implemented right over here. It's one of the easiest thing. I want to find the highest number. I have so many numbers. So I'll take up the lowest number. I will compare it with each one of them. As soon as the number is greater than my current value, I will update it. And this is the newest number itself. Again, I will compare with the rest of them. Again, I find a number that is greater than the current value. I will again update my current value. And so on and so forth until unless I find the highest number possible inside of the entire list of numbers itself. Okay. So right over here, guys, -1 and -2 are the two particular values that I have already declared. Now I'm going to go over each and every box, guys. I'm going to go and take over each and every box wherever the current board is empty. So for example, here I cannot go. Here I cannot go. Here I cannot go. Here I cannot go because there is some particular digit already present right over there. I can only go on empty spaces. I can only go on empty spaces right over there, guys. Okay, so these are the positions that I cannot go on. I can only go on these particular positions where I'm putting up an arrow. So that is what we have done right over here. We have checked if I in range 0 to 9, so for every particular index, if board I is equals to 0, that is it is empty, then first I go to the first particular location. Okay, I did some sheet right over here. Okay, I just removed something from right over here. POS is equals to I. Okay, so that was by mistake. So I'll go to the first particular location, guys. I will go to the first particular location right over here, guys. And I will put up my O right over here. I'll put up my first O right over here. That okay, I'll check what will happen. What will be the min-max value that I will be able to get if I put my O right over here. As you're able to see, board I is equals to 0. I put my O at the first particular number and then I calculate a score. Okay, I calculate a score right over there that what is the min-max value I'm able to get if I put my O right over here. Okay, and then once I get the score, let's assume the SCORE score right over here is 0. Okay, let's assume the score that I'm able to get via the min-max algorithm is 0 right over here. Let's assume that. Okay, then I'm removing my O from here. I'm removing my O. Okay. Board I is equals to 0. I'm doing it right over here, guys. As you're able to see, board I is equals to 0. I'm removing my O from the first particular position. Now, if this score is greater than the value, this score is greater than the current value itself, guys, I will update my value. So my new value, yes, 0 is greater than -2. So my new value will be updated to 0. Okay, so my new value is updated to 0. And because right now this gives me the highest probability of winning. This gives me the best chance of me making sure that the second person, the human, is able to lose right over there. Okay, this is able to give me the best probability that my human is losing right over there. So I'm updating my POS as well as I. So currently I is 0, right? So my POS will also be increased to 0. Now I'll do it for every single step, guys. I'll do this from every single step. when I reach this particular location, guys, when I reach this particular location, my score will be equal to 1 because I am winning right over there. My score will be equal to 1 because I am winning right over there. Are you guys able to see right over here, guys? I am winning right over there. My score is equal to 1, guys. Okay. So I will again update my value. Again, my value will be updated because it is greater than, score is greater than value. So now the value is 1. This gives me the best probability of winning. And my POS will also be updated with that. My new position, the position which is giving me the best probability of winning is 5. So this will be increased to 5. And at the end, that is what I'm implementing right over here. That board POS is equals to 1. Board POS is equals to 1. That is what I'm implementing right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. So I've explained the entire code line by line to you guys. If you have not paid attention in the previous classes, if you are joining this class for the very first time, you didn't revise what we have learned in all the previous classes, you will not be able to understand, very frankly speaking. And if you are not able to understand it, then there's no point. Like there's no point itself that of anything. Okay. So now we need to implement the min-max algorithm and we need to understand why is there a minus right over here, guys. We need to implement the min-max algorithm and we need to understand why is there a minus right over there. These are the two things that we need to understand right now. That is the only two things that are left right now, guys. So let's first start by implementing the min-max algorithm. Okay. So DEF min-max, that is the name of the algorithm, which takes in two particular inputs. Okay, BOARD board and the current player who is going to play the next step. Okay, current player who is going to play the next step itself. So PLAYER player. Okay, who is going to play right now? Whose chance it is? So I will just make it full screen. Why is this not working? I think so the charge is less inside of my mouse as well. That is the reason I'm facing some errors. Okay, so right over here, guys, as you're able to see, we have put up min-max, board and player. Now player is basically telling whose chance it is. For example, right over here, 0 has already been placed on the board, right? Right over here, 0, that is O, has already been placed on the board. Whose is the chance right now? It is the chance of -1, right? It is the chance of X. X is the player and X is represented by -1. So that is what we are providing right over here, the player. Okay, and the board. Now, because the board is required, the new board is required right over there. Now, first we need to check if somebody has won or not. Okay, first we need to check if somebody has won or if somebody has lost. Okay, to check that, what we're going to do, X is equals to analyze. Just copy it off. I don't want to write the entire thing. I will make a spelling mistake like always. Control C. But guys, please make sure this is a very long code. Do not make any spelling mistakes like me. Make sure that you are not making any spelling mistakes. If you face any difficulties, go over all your spellings once, guys. Okay, analyze board and BOARD board. Okay, first we'll check if anybody has won or not. Then if X is not equal to 0, that is that somebody has won. If X is not equal to 0, that means somebody has won. Then return who has won, guys. Then return who has won. Okay, so this is the leaf condition, guys. First, this is a recursive function that we are creating right over here, guys. So this is going to be a recursive function that we are going to create right over here. Now, recursive function is a function that calls upon itself again and again and again. Okay, it makes it divides the entire big question into smaller questions, guys. Okay, try to understand this. It divides the very big question into chunks of questions, into smaller questions right over there, and tries to solve those smaller questions. Now, the smallest question inside of a min-max tree, the smallest question inside of a min-max tree is the leaf node, right, guys? The smallest question inside of a min-max tree is the leaf node, right? That who has won and propagating who has won above the tree itself, right, guys? Please let me know. So we are returning that if somebody has won, then return X multiplied by PLAYER player. Now, can somebody let me know why we have done this? Can somebody analyze and say to me why we have done this? Please let me know. Can somebody analyze and say to me why we have written x multiplied by player, guys? Can somebody let me know why we have written x multiplied by player? Can somebody think about it? And why did we require that? See, right now we know that x means who won the game, right? X means who won the game. So let's assume that if somebody has won right over there, then most probably the last particular person who played the game, that is the person who won right over there, right? So whatever the player is, he has not won the game. He is now going to play the game itself. It is his chance. So if somebody has won before that itself, that means the previous player won the game, right? The previous player won the game itself, right, guys? Think about it. It is his chance right now. It is the player's chance itself. So he cannot win the game. The previous person has won the game itself, right? So if you guys remember, min max, we have put up a minus right over here, guys. Min max, we have put up a minus sign right over here. That means we need to inverse it as well. Whatever answer is coming from here, let's assume x has won the game. Let's assume x has won the game. Now whenever it is going up, okay, if 1 has won the game, but it will show here as minus 1, right? It will show here as minus 1. Even if 1 has won the game, it will show as minus 1. So to inverse it right over here itself, we just multiplied it by player. We just multiplied by player, so that always the answer remains consistent. Always the answer remains consistent right over there. If nobody has won the game up till now, if nobody has won the game up till now, guys, player always minus 1, so the score is always minus 1. Exactly. Okay. So if nobody has won right over here, then we need to do the min-max algorithm. Okay. Now the min-max algorithm goes the exact same way. So you have, I want to tell you guys a very special thing. You have already implemented min-max algorithm. What if I tell you guys this, guys, that you have already implemented min-max algorithm? You just need to copy paste it. You will say that, "Arey, chutiya bana raha hai." Okay. But it's true. You have already implemented the entire min-max algorithm. You just need to copy paste it. So this computer's turn is actually the first step of the min-max algorithm. This, what you have written right over here, is the first step of the min-max algorithm, guys. And instead of calling some other function right over here, right now we will be calling the same function again and again and again. We are going to, so the major question that was there, that okay, now AI has played one particular step. AI has played board 1. It has played his particular portion right over there. Now it is the chance of human. What did I say on the very first day? On the very first day of starting the project, what did I say? Both the AI as well as the human are actually trying to play optimally. Do you guys remember that? Both the AI and the human, the AI is considering that the human is not going to make any mistakes. He is also going to play optimally itself. He is thinking that the human is also an AI. Please try to understand it. According to the AI, human is also AI. He is also going to play the most optimal method. So this particular min-max algorithm is going to select the best possible step that the human can take right now. The best possible step that the human can take right now. So again, the human will be proceeding with the same steps, right? The human will also be proceeding with the same steps. Again, he will be doing the same thing. That okay, first POS is -1, then the value is -2. Then for the I in range, blah 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 blah, and then we finalize that okay, this is the step that we want to take. So what we'll do is we'll copy everything till this particular point of time. Control C. Okay. Same steps, guys. Same steps. I'm not changing anything. So if nobody has won, then the player is going to decide what to do right now. Okay, the player is going to decide what to do right now. But we need to change some things right over here, guys. We need to change some of the things right over here. Here, It is not the AI. We don't know if it is the AI or the human that is going to play. We know that it is the player who is going to play the game right now. Last time we knew that, okay, this is the computer's turn, so we need to put 1 because the computer is 0, the computer is O, so we need to put 1. But here it is the player who is going to play the game, guys. So instead of putting 1, we are going to put PLAYER, player. Okay, whatever is the value of the player, that is what we are going to put right over there. Okay, and then we are going to tell min-max algorithm that, okay, now give this chance to the next player. Okay, so the next player will be just multiplied player by -1. If the current player is a human, then the next chance is of the AI, right? If the current person who is playing the game is human, next chance is of the AI, so just multiplied by -1. If it is the AI that is, currently playing, just multiplied by -1. So the next player will be the human itself, right, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. So that is what we are doing right over there. Then we are removing the same. We are calculating what score is the best for us. Okay, what score is the best for us. But right now, we need to propagate. We need to send which value is the highest. If you remember, we cannot come to a common conclusion that this is the step that we want to take, because now it is a hypothetical situation. We are going through all the possible scenarios in which who is winning, who is losing. We are checking everything right over here. We're checking everything inside of the tree. This is how you're creating the tree itself, guys. Again and again, you're calling min-max algorithm, min-max algorithm, min-max algorithm, till the point that somebody has won. Now we need to propagate the values back up the tree. Up till here, you have created the entire tree itself. You have created the entire tree up till here, guys. Now you need to propagate the values back the tree. You need to send which value is the best to operate upon. You need to send which value is the best for you to operate upon, guys. So right over here, we will be putting up, let's check if everything is correct. Yeah. So now we will be putting up if POS is equals to -1. That means we were not able to find any right step. Okay, it's like either the board is completely filled, or there are no spaces left, or it's a draw itself. Like we are not able to figure out where to put, the player is not able to figure out where to put his X or O. The player is not able to figure out where to put his X or O, guys. The value of POS is -1. He was not able to figure out anything. In that case, return 0. That is, it is a draw. In that case, it is a draw. Otherwise, in the normal case, return the value. Otherwise, return the value as the highest value possible. We are propagating the value back up the tree, guys. We are propagating the value back up the tree. And this is called as backtracking, which we have implemented using recursion. This is called as backtracking, which we have implemented using recursion itself, guys. Now, of course, we can change it a lot. We can optimize it a lot. We can change the entire thing and replace it by something called as dynamic programming. We can make it more optimized by changing this entire thing by something else. It's a very shit ass thing. We can optimize it even further by changing this particular thing of how we are searching, which is the highest value. So a lot of things can be changed to optimize, make it more faster, make the program exceptionally faster as well. But for our purpose, this is a very small AI. We are not going to optimize it. But yes, if you guys are learning about a little bit more about dynamic programming, a little bit more about finding the highest value inside of a particular list itself, then these are all part of data structures and algorithms. You guys can definitely check it out. And that is how you can increase the speed of your entire code as well, guys. Okay, increase the entire speed of code. So line 36 has range from 0 to 9. It should be 8. Okay, let me check line 36 for I in range 0 to 9. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's correct. What is the problem with this? I in range 0 to 9. What's the problem in this? It's totally fine. I hope so. I'm not wrong. Let us try to run this, guys. Let us see if everything is working or not. Okay, let us try to run this. Let us see if everything is working or not, guys. So if there is any problems, we'll try to like debug the entire code as well. Now that is going to take a hell lot of a time itself, guys, because if something has gone wrong, then we'll have to go through the entire code and debug it properly. I hope so that there is no issues and we have written all the code properly. Okay, so let's run this, and then to once it is completed running, then we'll call the main function to run our code, guys. We'll call the main function right over here, main, guys, main, then parenthesis. That is how you call the main function. Let us pray for the God to once again, God, please make sure there is no kind of debug. Like I don't have any kind of bugs in my code. Please make it run in one particular go itself. I know as a programmer, it has never happened with me, but I hope so that you are going to listen to my prayers. So I've prayed my particular thing. Every programmer does it before running his final project itself, because of course there are going to be a lot of bugs. Let's hope that we don't have any. Enter 1 for single player, enter 2 for multiplayer. Okay, let's put up 1 right over there, single player. Enter to play first or second, guys. Should we go for first or second, guys? Please let me know. Should we go for first or second, guys? Please let me know. Should we go for first or second, guys? Please let me know. Guys, come to one particular conclusion. Some of you guys are writing 2, some of you guys are writing 1. I'll take 1. Many of you guys are writing 1. Current state of the board, as you're able to see, it's completely empty, right? We are able to see the current state of the board. That is working fine. Enter X position from 1 to 9. So from 1 to 9, we need to enter which particular position are we going to put our X, guys? Okay, where should we put our X, guys? Please let me know. Where should we put our X, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As a human, that is what we are counting right over here, guys. We'll put it up as 5. Okay, let's put it up as 5, guys. Okay, so AI has put it up as 1. AI has put it up as 1, guys. We have put it up as 5. Where should we put our next X, guys? Where should we put our next X? So we have already put it up as 5, guys. Where should we put our next X at? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, guys. Let's put it up at 8. 7. 8. I'll put it up as 8, guys. 8. Okay, so we have put it up at 8. Okay. So now we have to put it up at 3. We don't have any option. We have to put it up at 3, guys. Okay. Now we have to put it up at 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have any options, so 4. Okay. Now we have to put it up at 9, so we don't have any option right over there as well. 9. And as you're able to see, it was a draw. It was a draw right over there. So everything is working absolutely fine. There's no issues with whatsoever. Everything worked fine. Our AI is working fine. We were not able to win, even though I used some of the other things itself. Okay, all these guys know the trick. I think they have played so much in their childhood. Yes, of course, guys. That was pen fights. Then you are having X and 0 competitions, world championships of X and 0s in which 4 people used to participate at the back bench itself. Okay, so if you are making a mistake as a human, if you are making a mistake, only in that particular case the AI will be able to win. Okay, if as a human you are making a mistake, then only in that particular case the AI will be able to win. Otherwise, not. So let us see if the multiplayer is also working or not. Let us see if the multiplayer is also working or not, guys. Let us just check that once again. Okay, so we'll put up 2 right now. We'll put up a multiplayer. Let's put up the X position at 5. Okay, so it is also working. Now the O's position at 1. X position, I can win this because this is multiplayer, so I can put up at anybody place. O's position at 3. And then I'll put it up at 8. And yes, we have 1 right over there. X player wins. Yay. So multiplayer is also working absolutely well. Okay. So both our X and our O, like, both our AI as a multiplayer is like working in just one go. I'm super happy about it that we don't have to debug the code. Yay. In that thing, it's most of the time actually gets wasted. When you're debugging the code, most of the time actually gets wasted right over there. So no issues. We actually won the game, guys. The entire code is working absolutely fine. I am not going to summarize the 100-liner code. I've done it for the past 3 days. So for those who are there inside of the class, they know every single line of code that I've coded, and I've explained every single line of code to them. So for those who are coming for the first time, guys, you have to start from the first class itself to understand the code. Okay. Shit. Now I'm feeling great. Ah. Okay. So now that we have coded the entire thing, guys. Okay. Now your job is to code the entire code. Okay. That is your job right now. See, guys, I'm not going to provide you with the code. I've provided you guys with the video lectures. The video lectures are available with lifetime access. I will just go through the code once in this video from the start to bottom. I'll just scroll down a little bit faster, so that you can just pause the video and watch the code at once as well. So I'm just providing you guys with that instead of the code. I'm not going to provide you with the code, guys. That makes no sense. Otherwise, you guys will be just copy pasting it and you will not be practicing it. You will not be able to understand the code as well. Your job is to understand the code. Only then the project has some value, otherwise not. Only then the project has some value, otherwise not, guys. I hope that the code, I will just scroll through the entire code, guys, that you are not facing any kind of problems. I've scrolled through the entire code and the solution for that as well, so that you are able to see that everything is working out fine for us. Okay, so make sure, guys, your job right over here is to understand code and then code it, guys. Understand code and then code it. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Now it is time to understand certificates. When certificates? How certificates? Why certificates? No. Okay, that was a very terrible laugh, but yeah, we need to understand about the certificates right now, right? So when is the certificate going to come? How is the certificate going to come? What is the criteria of getting the certificates as well? Everything I'll be demystifying in this particular part of the video, right? The first particular thing is that you are having 4 certificates, okay? DevTown, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. There are 4 certificates associated with this session. For those students who will be having, so up till now we have got 8 days of attendance, guys. 8 days. So today as well I will be taking up one attendance. That is 8 days of attendance. Those students who will be having 6 or more days of attendance, guys. 6 or more days of attendance. Those will be given on an average, like out of 8 days, 6 or more days of attendance is there. They will be given the DevTown and the Microsoft certificate by tomorrow evening on their email IDs that you have used for your attendance. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Can somebody repeat this, guys, for me in the live chat? It would be very great if you guys are able to repeat what I've just said, guys. Could you guys repeat that in the live chat so that I'm able to understand, everybody is able to understand what I'm saying right over here. For those students who will be having 6 out of 8 days of attendance, will be given the DevTown and the Microsoft certificate associated with this bootcamp, guys. Associated with this bootcamp. That will be given to them by tomorrow night. Okay, by tomorrow night on your email IDs, you will be getting these 2 certificates. I hope that this is fine with you guys. Please let me know. I hope that this will be fine with you guys. Please let me know, guys. Thank you so much for repeating that so that I'm able to understand it, guys, that you were able to understand it. Now for those guys who will not be able to receive the Microsoft and the DevTown certificate by tomorrow night, do not complain till day after tomorrow morning. Okay, by tomorrow night, if you are not able to get your certificates, email it to us. I'm going to tell you an email, guys. I'm going to tell you guys an email right now. You just need to email it to us with your attendance proof. With your 7 days of, if you are not able to get the attendance by tomorrow night of DevTown and Microsoft, you need to email it to us with the proof of your attendance of 6 out of 8 days of attendance at certificate@devtown.in. Singular, certificate, singular @devtown.in. If you are not able to receive it, please don't unnecessarily email us. Okay, then it's of no use. We are providing you guys a way in which you are able to deal with your queries that have not got your certificates or something like that. Okay, that is the first step, guys. Everybody is able to understand it, right? No cost. There is no cost associated with the certificates. Nobody is going to ask you any kind of money with the certificates, guys. We only want to make sure that you are able to get these certificates in the best way possible, in the most easiest way possible as well, guys. Certificate. Okay, the spelling of certificate, normal, singular, certificate @devtown.in. You need, if you are not able to get it by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, then day after tomorrow morning, you can email it to us with the proof of attendance. That is a screenshot of all the emails that you have, all the attendance that you have filled up. That's it. If you're still not able to understand the spelling of certificate, may God help you. Okay, moving further, guys, the next particular thing is the Google and the Microsoft certificate. Sorry, Google and the Amazon certificate, guys. These are the two certificates that are remaining right now. Are you guys able to listen to me properly? Google and the Amazon certificates are remaining right now, guys. Right? You want to know the criteria of getting these two certificates? You know the criteria of getting these two certificates, guys. So let me tell you guys that. So initially, way long back ago, we used to take up your project submission, we used to check that and then give you guys the certificates, right? But due to some reasons, we have stopped doing that. The reason for that is that we actually don't have like the bandwidth. These boot camps are for free. So to put up people to check up your projects, there was a lot of different problems. Students were not able to get their certificates on time. So to make sure that the certificates are being sent on time, guys, we are going to give you guys a certain task, a small task, guys, a very small task. Okay, it would be basically a very small task. Somebody from DevTown will be approaching you guys in the next 2 days. In just 2 days, guys, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, somebody from DevTown will be reaching out to you guys. They might be calling you, they might be messaging you on WhatsApp. Okay, and they will be giving you a very small task. It will be very simple, very easy. Do not worry about it. It will be something related to the bootcamp itself. Do not worry. Okay, if you are able to complete that task, then in the next 4 days, you will receive your Google certificate on the same email ID as well. Okay, in the next 4 days, you will be able to get your Google certificate on your email ID as well. The same email ID where you received your Microsoft and your DevTown certificate. In the next, give us 3 days, give us 3 to 4 days, guys. In 3 to 4 days, somebody will be reaching out to you. You don't have to worry about it. 3 to 4 days at max. In 4 days, you will be receiving your Google certificate. In 4 days, somebody will be reaching out to you. Just keep an eye on your WhatsApp messages or your phone itself. Okay, just keep an eye out of it. That's it. That is what I'm asking from you guys. And the last particular certificate, that is the Amazon certificate. Okay, that is the Amazon certificate, guys. I've not yet thought about what to do. So maybe you will get it directly. Maybe with the Google certificate, we'll send it to you guys. Maybe with the Microsoft certificate, we'll send it to you guys. Okay, depending upon what is the scenario right over there. With any one of these emails, you will receive your Amazon certificates as well. Okay, how does that sound, guys? Will that be fine? I've not thought about what to do with the Amazon certificate. So I just thought that with any one of these, with the Google certificate, we'll send Amazon certificates. To some people, will send it with the Microsoft certificates as well. Right? Just like, okay, you guys enjoy however you like it. It's for free. But make sure, guys, complete the project. Okay? Because when you're putting the certificate on your resume, people will be asking what project have you made right over there. They'll want to see the project as well. And if you're not showing them the project, then the certificate will not contain any value. Okay, we have done the entire bootcamp for free. We did an awesome project right over there. All the certificates are for free as well, right? We are not charging anything for that. What we want is your enthusiasm. That's it. Learn every single day, guys. Even if you are not participating, see the training and internship program, even if you're not participating in that, it's totally fine. You don't need to. Everyday practice programming, learn new technologies, practice more, get a pathway. The more that you program, the better you will become at it. That's all, guys. That's all that DevTown wants from you guys. Okay.